Hello everyone and welcome to the next stream of, well, Timberborn version 1. I'm excited to, have a little bit of time off tonight to listen to some good music, well, hopefully, and have some fun without seeing too many of the beavers die. So there we go. Last time we actually got pretty far in this endeavor, because I think we are safe from all the explosions, which, pretty good. A ton of our beavers are still injured. Bad tide is approaching, of course it is. And we've started to look into this low pressure water seep over here, which I think we just need to create an actual channel over this way to make good use of the water that is coming out of here. So that's exactly what we're going to try to do in this episode. Besides that, I think our beavers need to be a little bit happier. Well, they should be allowed to be a little bit happier, let's put it like that. And yeah, we have a ton of stuff to do. Why do we have 24 open positions? How's that even possible? What's going on? Well, I don't think that number here is true, but we'll take it, I guess. We're also still in the process of building our observatory, and I'm excited for this to come in. It does need a ton more of planks, but, nothing better to do than, get the planks going. All right. So let's see. We had put in more of our lumber mills. That was definitely very useful. Actually, maybe it is 24 vacancies. Think of it like this. There are 10 workers in here, 4 each in here. And there are probably a few more scattered around. Huh, crazy. All right. Besides that, 25 vacancies now. I guess we're getting more and more injured beavers. So let me go ahead and pause the smelter for now. You're not doing anything anyways. And then we had created the potato griller in the last episode. So let's see what else we can do to make our beavers, well, a little bit happier. So they are still getting their wet fur perk because I had removed this area right here. And that also reminds me, one of the things that we wanted to do, well, I decided we wanted to do, is actually unlock the aquatic farmhouse. So we can create more of the food resources that our beavers love. So placed in here. Actually, I have a pretty far reach, so that's quite nice. Let's go ahead and see what we can actually plant with this. So spider dog, which can directly be grilled and eaten. Cattail needs to be ground down, so let's stick with the spider dog for now. I'm gonna add all of that over here. I'll add a few more in there because I think that will be quite nice, or is quite an easy win to get in terms of food supply. Water back here has filled up pretty well. We are still in the need of expanding this upwards. And I had planned all of this, but there's no way for them to actually get up here. Yeah. Aren't I funny? All right. So let's add another path in here. I think the easiest one, which will also help us with getting down here to do the dynamite in a little bit, is actually just to go down here and then bring the path in as simple as possible up this way, and that should be all we really need. Then over here, connect this up. And then make sure all of it is connected with staircases and sort of that last bit of pathway. There we go. 27 vacancies. Why are our workers going down? 11 beavers injured. Where do you guys get injured? All right, let's make sure this is on low priority. Our 6 medical beds are full. I guess that's not too bad. Having said that, we still have 5 of our beavers who are, are just suffering on their own. Huh. Also importantly, we do not have any builders at the moment. So I think one thing that we can do, especially because we have 228 science, I will pause all of the inventor huts for now. Considering we're also building this up here, that did not really make a dent. Again, where are all these vacancies? So that's 18 there. This is working. All of them are kind of working. Not counting, no, it's not counting the ones that are unpaused. Huh. Oh, look at that. Our windmill is coming in. Not that we need that in a bad tide, but it will help us supply the power to the observatory, which, again, will be quite nice to have. Still bugs me. I don't think I can let it go. Sorry, guys. So let's see. I mean, both of you are paused. That is good. You're completely full. You're paused. Full. Full. How did we just go down to? What? I am so confused. Okay, 12 vacancies. That makes sense now. 11. Good. So very soon, I'm hoping we will actually get some people into the hauling post. Still super confused, but I guess that's all right. Oh, look, they're actually taking the path. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing down here. I guess just building up this stuff. Okay, fair enough. Let's make sure we high prioritize the observatory, because I would love to have 1 beaver in there. And then we can finally delete the inventor huts. Which I guess there's no real reason to keep them around for now. Because we have it unlocked. All that needs to be done is to be built. So let's go ahead and remove them all. And that also gives us a little bit of space to put a grill over here. Gonna set your recipe actually to grilled potatoes and your recipe to grilled spatter dog, which will hopefully be coming in soonish. We've also finished all of this, so we could actually put in another aquatic farmhouse, but I don't think that is quite necessary at this point. All right, they've also made that connection, which means the big house is available. -1. Oh, poor guy, still hungry. We are actually really low in terms of food, so that is not good. I guess there's more food coming in. That will help us as well. And we do actually have chestnuts coming up. Why are you building this already? Are you done up here? No. But we're waiting for the planks. I guess that makes sense. All right. One thing that we need down here is a collector. And we can actually, we unlock the Tapa Shack as well. Maple syrup is also here, which is pretty nice. So that I'm just going to extend here and put in a gatherer flag at the very end, which will then allow us to utilize one of these guys. Grilled potatoes, all done. You're waiting for the spattered dog, but before that we will get grilled chestnuts. Look at that, this is already in, very awesome. And chestnuts are coming in as well. Makes me think it would probably be good to remove this one and kind of plan it to be up here somewhere. Let's do that, because why not? Get a little bit more of a system going for our beavers, which I think will be quite nice. So if we're going to remove this part and then set in, oh, what we can unlock is in decorations, I think. Yep, the wooden fence. Just like that. Remove this part here though. They need some sort of a gate to get in there, I think. But banners. Huh, very cool. I don't think there are gates. Yeah, I don't think there are gates. All right, so instead, let's also remove you. And then we have a nice area back here to actually plant some berry bushes. And that will be our berry supply. That once that forester has actually planted these, we don't need to care about this anymore, so we can remove the forester. I think that will overall be quite nice. Observatory is in, but no path. Easy fix. There we go. One beaver working on this. Surprised there's not more bad water flow going on here. In a bad tide. Let's see where the bad water is coming in. Because maybe we can, at some point, somehow... Why are you flowing out? Okay, you're not going down there. You're going up here. Oh, I see. And you're supplying this area with bad water. Right, I guess it is just a very slow flow over here, but it still gives us 35 power, so not too bad. So let's see what else we're kind of up to. You guys, you're not prioritizing this, so let me give you a high priority, because while it is nice to get this path in, and I guess that is the next thing we will be trying to unlock, is the deep water pump, not the bad water pump, sorry, the large water pump. And that will go in right there. 400 science, still a little bit away, but also not too bad. Just need to make sure we have a path connection up this way. All right, forester is in. He's already planting all of this. And because I'm trying to prioritize a little bit the beautification of our settlement, I'm going to high prioritize the wooden fences as well. They do need 3 planks. That's an insane amount of planks. Alright, I think what I should actually be focusing on is food. Because, ooh, we're running low. I guess with 46 beavers, 1 farmhouse, and 1 gatherer is not enough, so that kind of tracks. You are planting the last 2. There we go. And that means we can delete you, because that should be all we really need. So, aquatic farmhouse is in as well. And that means we can put in our next grill already. Let's see where we can put this where it makes sense. I mean, it would be nice to have it close by, obviously. But I don't want to block this area off because this is our little industry area that we should actually move. I feel like it's a bit in the way of everything. So for now, we could just place you here. But let's go ahead, switch you to potatoes and you to spider dog. I guess there are no potatoes to be harvested at the moment anyways. No food left. Yeah. And we do need to figure out where we're going to add more farmland anywhere. Well, we had talked about moving all of this up here, which would then also just free up this area there. And that does remind me, they're supposed to do all of this here. We could actually quickly high prioritize that. Let's do that. Let's do that. If I remove you, all of you are out of power, that's okay. But once we have built all three of these, which should be very, very quick, power should be restored. And then we can plan on putting our large windmill up here. That was the plan. But we're also lacking science. And just makes sense. 10 science in 3 hours, so getting to 1,400 will actually take quite a while. Again, no food. 20 chestnuts. Well, you're on spider dog duty. You're supposed to be on chestnut duty. There we go. I think that kind of explains it. Could also create a shortcut over here. I mean, I guess it's not really a shortcut since they need to walk over here. So for now, we'll leave it as it is. Things over here are also, well, kind of slowly coming along. Need more and more planks. All right, so let's figure out how we're gonna get up here. Which will be tricky at the moment. Or we put all of our industry up this way, which could have then a really nice zipline connection down here. Yeah, I kind of like that. And it should be easy-ish to get up there. So let's start planning for that. First, we're gonna add pathways down here, simply so we can put in our power connections. And then I don't remember if we had unlocked the vertical power shaft, so one obviously needs to go there, just like that. Make that into a bridge basically, just like here. And then prep everything so we can move one level down. Connecting all of this up. And then the important platform on the side. There we go. All right, doing okay. Long term, we also need to figure out where the underground mine is. I do remember having seen it somewhere. Ah, there's one. Is that the only one? Is that the closest one? Different questions. Same kind of intent. I guess it is kind of the closest one to us. That's not too bad. Could be kind of nice to have all the bad water go down there, create more power for us. But look at that water flow here. If we could connect this up, we'd be laughing. But that's also, again, kind of a bit more downstream issue. In order to put that there, we also need a pathway to get in here, and so on and so on. So let's make sure we're actually working on the explosives. For the explosives, the typical thing that we need is obviously the explosive factory, 400 science, metal, gears, planks, so that's not bad. Oh, look, our well-being high score increased. Very good. But before we can actually make any explosives, we obviously need to get the bad water pump unlocked. 250 science, that's also not too bad. That we could even build already right now. Now there's not a ton of bad water going on up here. What we could do is actually turn this into a bit of a platform area, so our bad water pumps, potential pumps, plural, could actually have their area like down there. But let's do that. First, temporarily remove, let's see. I'm gonna remove these two. Nah, let's do it all the way already. So actually that's not enough. Need to remove these as well. And then we can put in our vertical power shafts on either side. Power connection up there, and then connect all of this in. Nice priority on all of this, because, well, we haven't high prioritized a lot recently. Actually, let me double check. So this costs us 2 planks, which actually is cheaper for planks than the 4 planks that we would need for the platforms. So let's go ahead and do that. And then go ahead and build our platforms just in front, which will give us direct access to this entire area. High priority on all of this and making sure we do have 40 gears, so that's not too bad. So let's see how things come along. I have cut our science or observatory off from this. We're doing much better again in terms of food. I guess the potato harvest had just come in. Battered dogs will still take a while. Doing okay still overall in terms of water. I'm really surprised there's not more water sources on this map. Unless I am actually missing them. I guess I won't be able to find them during a bad tide. Alright, so let's wait until the regular season and then see where all of our water is going. Wow, you guys have done a pretty good job at getting all of this done. Here we go, power connection almost back in. And we can now unlock the bad water pump. Flip this around, and this way it actually gets access to the bad water in here. I guess the height is the same as over here. Maybe just approximately. So that could explain why there's only almost like a trickle going out here. But again, kind of okay. And another thing that I just want to continue is straighten out this path, because if we don't need to go around the corner, we shouldn't. And there we go. Oh, look at that. They have actually built all of this over here and are now working on that corner staircase. I love the design. It needs treated planks. I knew there was something missing. So let's go back into our industry area, and we do not have the space for treated planks. However, they have connected all of this up. So let's start moving our industry area up here. What would be the best way to do this? I guess we're having our smaller units, 1, 2, 3, facing with the back in this direction. Let's clean this up as well a little bit. There we go. And then we can have our 4-unit deep area buildings on this side. And that does remind me, we should already plan for that. So 1 vertical shaft here, and then make sure we're connecting this up. Also with a platform in the middle. Right. Seems like I do have a viewer currently. Hello. Don't be shy, say hi. Always looking forward to connect. Anyways, so this is coming in right now, and we're building our buildings first, just so we have an easier time of connecting all of this, or decommissioning the area down here and completely doing our work up there. So one side will be full with planks. The other side, 1, 2, 3. Look at that. That's technically 1 too far away, but we can keep this later on for the power station, which doesn't actually need power connection, does it? For our bots. Where is it? Power. No. Right, bot assembler, refinery. Yeah, doesn't actually need power stations. Wrong faction. So let's go ahead and connect this up here, and again, clean it up a little bit. And they have built all of this already. Crazy. Right. So what else do we have down here? Lumber mills. Gear workshop, smelter. Smelter obviously needs to go in as well. I'm just gonna place them, one of them here. And then we do have our paper factory that needs to go in somewhere. Not that we need it as an essential building right now, but it will just be nice to have nonetheless. Which we could actually just move a little bit back, maybe even here. Would that help us if we put it here? I honestly don't think so. So let's place it here. Gives us a little bit of space for potential decoration just in front of it, which I think will be nice. All right, beavers are busy. I will actually now lowest priority one of the builder huts, just making sure we do have 4 haulers. Haulers definitely beneficial because they improve the efficiency of the entire colony by a ton. And I will actually add another researcher to our research team, halving the amount of time it takes to actually generate 10 science. Okay. Besides that, yeah, they're still getting there. The treated planks are still what keeps us away from it. So let's have a look at the, is it the wood workshop? 800 science. Well, good thing I just added another scientist. Can never have enough of those. All right. Food-wise, we're doing okay. Water-wise, also doing okay. Would be good to get the deep water pump in, actually, because then we can decommission the water pumps here. And in the future, we can also put another one on the opposite end if we ever need to. So I think that will be quite good. All right. Now it's a bit more waiting for science. What else can we focus on? I guess we could build another house for our beavers. which ultimately just means unpausing the triple lodge here. Like I said before, food seems to be stable. Water actually seems to be stable, because we don't have more space for water at 165. This area's running a bit dry, and we haven't had that long of a drought coming in. So it might actually be worth, we don't actually need this floodgate here anymore, to prioritize the explosives. Okay, bad water pumper is also in. I mean, we could keep the bad water production, including the explosives, kind of up here. That might not be the worst idea either. Let's see. So if we're looking into this, we do need extract at some point. Extract will... Wait, where are we getting extract from? Yeah. The centrifuge. The centrifuge will actually fit in here quite nicely. In this area, or even just here. So we could actually move, if we move this one back, we could even put in more of the explosive factories up there. Let's see. Or deep, which we could put one, place one here. I guess we don't need like extract for that long. So placing it here, probably not the worst idea. We do have almost all the material. Okay, but more importantly, everything up here has been built. So what we can do is get this all set up. So highest priority on the two levees, so they can actually walk up here and build from the top. Don't think we honestly need to wait that much. So let's remove you and then make sure we do have our vertical power shafts going up all the way to there. But if I do that, no space for the windmill down here anymore. However, the large windmills we could actually just place up here. This won't work, but this should. And then another one here, another one here. And I could see this actually being quite nice, covering or like hiding our industry area behind a set of windmills. Right. For now, though, let's make sure they are focusing on this. Not that they have much else to do, because they can't reach any of that stuff back here. And once that is in, we don't actually need to wait. We have all the materials for all of these. So let's go ahead and make a bit more space down here. All of this can go. And the storage can go as well. And that gives us a good amount of space here to actually put in another farmhouse, especially since we now can remove this gatherer flag. And we can also remove the berry bushes back here because we have that strip over on this side, which is completely covered by this gatherer. So all in all, might not be the worst thing to do. We will need to clean this area up. We do have that part back here as well. Makes me think in the long term, probably want to run the water back here like a little river that flows down there and then in here, rather than going through this part right there. Yeah, future worries. For now, like I mentioned before, let's make sure we put in, not a tunnel. An explosive factory up here, 400 science, absolutely. And once they are done building all of these, It shouldn't take too... Where are our gears? Don't tell me. Yeah. I can't find them because they're kind of in the rubble. Good stuff. All right. So let's make sure we have a medium warehouse for the gears. We could just place here or there. No, not here. Yeah, if we place that here, for now at least, that will overall do. And then we can put in another storage area, large storage pile right there. We can then place our planks. All right, these need to be high prioritized because I want you guys to finish them. So we can store our gears and planks and get the rest of the stuff just built. Still actually doing now excellent in terms of food. But a little shift of adding a bit more food supply somewhere, what a difference it can make. Right. Another thing that we really need to think about is the contamination barrier. 400 signs, I think that's what we're going to unlock the next, and then we're placing them all along here, which will fully free up this area here for farmland. And that, again, will just be really good for us. Here we go. Planks are coming in. This needs to be set to gears. Gears. Here we go. Could add a bit more storage for paper, which again would be nice. But yeah, we'll see. We will see. All right. Oh, quick hiccup. So, still waiting on more signs. We can actually add another scientist up here. We don't quite have enough power up there, which we can actually easily fix. I say easily, but we'll need to make a power connection somewhere. And then at the same time, it might be nice to unlock a large windmill instead, as this will obviously provide a lot more power to our area here. All right, but the explosive factory is coming in. That is good. They have also made the full power connection here. And now we have a ton of beavers working on all of this. I will pause one of the lumber mills. I don't think we need 4 at the moment. Gear production definitely be beneficial. But I also don't think we have enough power for all of these up there. Paper mill we can pause. Smelter we should probably keep. But as I can see, we need a storage area for all the metal blocks that we're creating. So let's plan that in. I think the way we're placing this is put another medium warehouse here. Making sure that we have a levee in front. And a path that connects to it. And then we have a bit more area to place another warehouse up here. Not warehouse. Large pile. There we go. So this will be metal blocks. And you can be... Where are you? Paper. All right. Coming along. Overall, not too bad. And they are kind of slowly building this as well. What else do we have down here that they haven't picked up? Scrap metal. I guess it would make sense to have a bit more scrap metal storage, but I don't know if it makes sense up here. Because the closest underground mine, where did I see you? Half hidden right there. A bit far away. Actually not too bad. A couple of posts in here, so maybe scrap metal storage down there. would be good. So let's go ahead and place it for now. Can always change our minds later. There we go. And then this is slowly being cleaned up. All right, and otherwise it's logs. For that we should probably unlog the underground pile. But yeah, not enough signs. Has to be expected. This is still coming in, explosive factory, so that is good. And then we need to make sure, actually don't need the path on this side anymore. So let's go ahead and clean this up. Trying to be as tidy as I can. There we go. And then we can also remove this platform right here. If we then go ahead and go into landscaping, single explosive, also don't have enough science for that. Cool. So again, a lot of waiting, but you know, it'll be fine. We do now have one unemployed beaver. Oh, it's because they finished building that triple lodge there. Very cool. Seems to be still stable in terms of the food. Water has been very stable, so I guess at the end of the day, they're just drinking it all up. Fair enough. So I think it is okay to just wait for the science, and we actually have the science now for that single level dynamite. And then we can place it all the way in there. This has almost filled up. Well, fish. Makes me wonder though, once one of these is in, we probably want to have a one-way. Actually, we don't need to have a one-way stream. This will produce water until basically there's enough water pressure going in the opposite direction. And at that point, we don't care, because then that means there's enough water in here to be at this level. So I think that should be okay. Unstable core in 3 days. Let's have a look where it is. You're fine. We have blocked you off already. So that was good planning from my side. Yeah, you know. Self congratulation, always appreciated. Oh, actually, don't tell me you're opening this up. You are not opening this up. Good. Drought has started, only 10 days. That's not too bad. Can definitely live with that. And we're almost done with the explosive factory. That also makes me think it probably is time to think about better transportation, meaning zipline station. 700 science for this. Definitely need to unlock these, obviously, and then 500 for the pylon. So we could place one here, which I didn't know, but is the perfect width. And then we can get another one here, and they might even be able to connect. So I might need to turn it around in this direction. Maybe it's also time to demolish this bridge, the natural overhang. And you know what? I will do that. Just saw that they're actually overlapping at the end. Will you guys be able to go across? Not at the moment. Well, let's briefly connect this. And make sure we're high prioritizing the deconstruction of these bridges. Overhangs, my bad. Look at that. They're carrying two. Grilled chestnuts, pretty full. Water kind of being replenished. Yeah, not bad. Still waiting for this to be done. What are we waiting for? Oh. Oh. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Let's see. Power. We place you here. We can't place you here. We can't place you there. What if we move you one to the side? Still no. Interesting. Didn't expect that. Okay. However, what if we place one here and one there? You guys still need to walk over here to get to this one, but that's not a problem. We do have a ton of planks, so let's go for a platform. And then thought this through, but you know, hindsight is 2020, as they all say. So there we go. Go up here by one and connect both of these up. All right. Next morning, you guys need to prioritize this rather than these objects above blocking demolition. I guess that makes sense. So if we remove this path, yep, you guys can actually demolish this. It's too far. How's this too far now? You already started putting stuff in there. Really? That should not have been the case. Yeah, I think so. All right. Yeah, you guys can reach all the rest. This is coming in now as well. And they have actually demolished this first part of the bridge. Let's go ahead, place our staircase down here. Make sure we're connecting this up, and I will remove the path on this side. Once that has been removed, we can put in our other staircase and then build from there. All right. I have the feeling that all of this stuff, the demolition, is taking longer now in the new update. But maybe that's just, you know, a random thought from my side. Right, need to high prioritize you. Wait, why is there water coming out? I guess no particular reason. Alright, we don't need the small pile anymore either, so let's remove you, and then we can fully connect this up. High priority on these stairs, and then delete other paths. There we go. Also means we can actually put in another layer of our spatter dog. There we go. And then, well, they have nothing better to do. We can go all the way to here. We can place our cattail. So they can actually get started on this. Well, the next day at least. All right. Not producing a lot of energy right now, but I guess that kind of makes sense. For whatever reason, there's not a lot of wind during the drought. And that is eating up a ton of energy. So let me pause a few more lumber mills. We do need more gears, so I'm gonna have this lumber mill just feed this gear workshop. But most importantly, we are producing metal blocks, which will hopefully soon get us to that explosive factory and get this done. What we really need is more power, so that will be our next aim. And I had forgotten to look for more water sources, but I honestly don't think there are more on this map. If you disagree, feel free to leave a comment. Happy to chat in case you're up for it. Right. Can actually remove this. One beaver is injured. Sunflower seeds, we could actually plant some of these. But I think bread or cattail crackers might be a better way to go. Contemplation spots, we do have them, but I guess there's not enough time for them to use them. Scarecrows, we could actually increase our happiness with. Let's click on a beaver if I can. There we go. 20%. Next, add level 17. You're at 16. So we can actually relatively easily increase our lifespan either by putting a dance hall down. It kind of fits perfectly in here. Well, not perfectly, but it fits in here. Could do a mud pit, but we don't have mud. You guys need power? No, but you need extract. You need power. The Agora could be a nice addition, which could go here if we move our campfire. Or we'll leave sort of the back open. I feel like the Agora needs to go somewhere more prominent. I guess we could place a few more platforms in here. Make all of this land built. If I do that, we won't be able to extend over here at all. And I like the idea of being able to extend a little bit. An Agora up here could also look pretty nice. I mean, the main thing is I want to be close by to our settlement. I will build a proper staircase up here. We don't have a ton of space. And actually, I don't think the Agora will actually fit up there at the moment. Let's see. Yeah. In my dreams, maybe. But we could have both the Agora and the dance hall up here. And then utilize the new corner the corner staircases I wanted to say, but we can't build those yet until we have the treated plank wood workshop, 800 signs. Pooh. Right. Need more science, one more beaver in here. I think we just really need more power. So let's go ahead and make sure we're placing another small windmill just there, and then connect it up. Because that will help us with the production of science. And now that the explosive factory is in, you guys need power, right? Maybe you don't. You do need power. Oh, no. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't see that. That's been a long day. Alright. Second windmill is coming in. Yeah, but no wind, so oh well. Oh, but they have put in the first few of the explosives, so let's explode them away. And then, like I said before, we don't actually need a block over here, because only going to be beneficial. I did hear newer well-being score. How did that happen? I do not know. Huh. Alright. What else do we need to build though? So it would be nice to get a large pile for our forestry stuff somewhere close by. I still haven't cut this away, because I did want to move this one. Well, I guess that doesn't have to move anymore. So for now, let's go ahead and clear out a little bit more space. So if we remove those and then don't replant these, I think that will already be enough. Because then we can delete those two lumberjacks, build them back here, and then turn this entire area there into the large, what is it called? Stockpile, the underground stockpile. Which I think overall will be quite nice. All right. Do we want to wait this long? I guess we could place you somewhere else in the meantime. We also just need the science for that. And that is 1,000 science as well. And if we're waiting for 1,000 science, the large windmills might make a bit more sense. You are not getting any bad water. So I'm going to pause you. I'm going to pause the bad water pump for now. And that also tells me we should place a liquid storage, 120 science. You know what? That is kind of worth it. And I'm just going to expand. Put a few more levees in up here. Why didn't it work? Here we go. If we do that, we will be able to, in the long term, place 2 of these medium... what are they called? Liquid storage systems? Tanks? Tanks would have been a better way. We can place them here, and then we're setting you already to add water down here. All right, raise priority on you as well. And very soon, I'm hoping at least, we will get, oh, look at that. Power supply 260. Once the drought is over, these windmills do produce more power. You are almost done in this corner, actually. If I want to have you keep moving forward, we need another staircase here. And other than that, this farmhouse has not gotten to plant. No, they're all planted. The cattails are actually coming in. So let's see how we can turn this into more food. Although water is, I think, the bigger issue. So let's see. Large water pump. Well, you do need treated planks. Good thing we're building that as well. 400 science, not too bad. We're actually not building this. That's what would have cost us 800 science. And again, I think it makes a bit more sense to first expand in terms of power supply. Let's have a quick look. Can we put in... Nope, no windmill here. But they can actually go all along there. So if we're removing you, we will not be able to increase the height for that though. Right. So if we want to place you, for example, here. Not enough science, that makes sense. All right, we're removing this platform right there. And once they can actually pick that up from one above. But we need to create a power connection on this one. Highest priority on this piece. That should be built pretty quickly. Everything should be close by. Well, except for the logs, I guess. Oh, anyways, it's in. Go ahead and pick up these. No storage. That kind of tracks. Let's transfer all of these as well. And then go ahead and build up our connection. First large windmill can actually... Oh, hold on though. Nah, that's fine. Can just go right on top here, and I think every other one we should be able to place the next one. Only 300 more science, and then, you know, we're getting there. Still enjoying update 1. Feels like there has been a little bit less of a change than I expected. I was really hoping for another beaver faction, to be honest. Because I don't know if you've played the Ember Pells, the Leaf Codes, the Water Beavers, but again, they make the whole Timberborn universe just a little bit more interesting. Right. So, cattails have grown now, which means we should also look in the food supply. We need the mill. The mill needs power. Good thing we have some power back here. If we're placing you, I guess we could place 2 of them there. Because we need one for the cattails and one for the regular wheat flour. Or, well, wheat. So if I place you here, I could put another one right next to it, and we have a little bit of extra storage, like liquid storage up here, which I think could be nice. And again, we really want to save up over there. I will remove all of that. Is that one more space for the, what are they called? The contamination barrier. All right. But again, before we do all of that, just a little bit more science, 50 more, and then we can finally build the larger windmills, which I think will make life so much easier. Also, unpause that water pump and our explosive factory, because we still need to explode out this part right there. Not that there seems to have been a lot of need for added water storage in here, but I'm pretty sure we're not gonna end up with the same short droughts and bad tides that we've had in the past. All right. Trying again, any of you played this before? Like this map, this version? Timberborn's still a lot of fun. And I do very much enjoy it. Also, I'm not entirely sure if you guys can hear the music in the background. I do hope so. Doing okay overall. Doing okay. And we do have the science now, so let's go ahead and unlock the large windmills. And we just keep expanding over here, placing 4 right away. And then once we get to it on the next level, then place sort of the next set of them. And that actually turned out pretty well. Better than I expected. I mean, totally planned it this way, of course. All right. Like I said, next step was the, I guess could be the irrigation barriers, because then we can free up this part for more food. Alternatively, the large water pump would be quite nice, but again, for that we need the treated planks. The treated planks probably should be the next thing that we're unlocking. Oh, you guys have already built the first one. Yeah, are quick. Oh, hold on. Don't build this yet. I want to make sure you guys can actually get to all of this. Need to unpause the paper mill. Obviously, we need more paper for our windmills. Building lacks power. You're not in the water? I had no idea that it needs a minimum height in order to spin the water wheel. Crazy. Anyways, we also want to put another windmill over here just to make sure. Oh, look at that. Now it's spinning. Just to make sure our power supply on this side also doesn't suffer. So let's plant one here and already put in the connection. Then whenever they have the chance, they actually get to build it. All right. Yeah, needing more paper. Paper just needs logs, right? Yep. So that's overall not too bad. We also actually don't need that water pump down here anymore. I'm gonna leave it just in case. And we should put in a bit more storage for food, because our grilled chestnuts full, and Spatadog full, grilled potatoes basically full. So in a sense, we're wasting their efforts. So where would a good storage area be? Kind of want to keep it close to our housing area. Oh, hi there. The map that I'm currently playing is called Pressure. It's a new map they added as part of the version 1 update. It's a lot of fun, although I don't know if you've seen my other live streams. The very first one I miserably failed because the water source is down here as it is filling up now with bad water. And there are these explosive cores, these ones, that are scattered strategically to make your life miserable. Yeah. There was one in the very first playthrough that was over here. You can kind of see the explosive crater. And I didn't manage to build that levee system here in time. So that was the end of it. It was a lot of fun in a sense. It's quite an interesting learning curve. Let's put it like that. That might be a bit of better phrasing. But yeah, it's the pressure map. Highly recommend it. Gets you a bit more thinking about three-dimensional system, as none of the water sources are actually above ground, except for this new seeping water source, which is down here. And that apparently can't actually produce water above the first level of height above it. So that's kind of interesting, which is one of the reasons why very slowly, but actually it's about to be finished, I created this path system, or like, well, channel to get the good water from here over there during a regular season. Because only with 3 water sources underneath, I'm not entirely sure how feasible it is to actually fill all of this or keep enough water in here to keep the beaver supplied. Anyways, I was rambling on for quite a bit. I hope that answered your question. But yeah, do now have actually a good amount of bad water in here. Also getting more explosives in there. So the next thing that we could even consider to expand sort of our storage system back here is to add a or like dynamite stuff down quite a bit, because that would obviously help us. Okay, let's see. You manage this map on normal mode until one explosive deep underground connected water source with bad water source, and in my middle everything changes into bad. Yeah, so that's kind of the same thing that happened to me in the first playthrough. On hard mode, it is much trickier, but as you can see, I've kind of strategically pre-placed levees. So for example, there was an explosive here, but by having these levees in there, narrowing down this path, I could kind of prevent it from happening. And then there was another explosive actually just above it, which also connected this up, but because this was in here, all safe. And I pre-placed levy systems here to make that explosive here, which I think actually just got set off, prevent from filling up the bad water, the water source in here. The nice thing is, because everything is a tunnel, I didn't need to do anything back here, so I just needed to block it off and all the good water gets pumped in there. And this is just becoming this massive water reservoir, which definitely helpful. But yeah, I've definitely struggled on this map. It's been interesting. Same with the connection like up here. So this used to be one of the explosives. And I think initially there was a regular wall, like soil over here. So I shortened this a little bit just to make sure it doesn't get blown up as well. And that prevents the bad water from coming in here. It's a lot of high level, you know, much further in advance play than I used to do for any of the Timberborn things. All right, centrifuge is actually only 600 science, so let's place it. And then we can, like I mentioned before, start exploding this down a little bit. Maybe even 2 levels down. Because we can always put another, like a tunnel, for example, through there with a sluice in front of it. And this way we should be able to expand the water reservoir in the back here. Anyways, first they need to build the centrifuge. And we're a bit short on gears. I guess because of all the large windmills that I've set in motion. How's this coming along? Still lacking gears. So let's place a second gear workshop up here. And then unpause another lumber mill. Just to make sure, I actually should have done that a while ago. We're a bit short on planks. So let's unpause 2 of these. Could also think about expanding the power supply through the water wheels here. I mean, that was kind of a long-term plan anyways, and maybe right now would be a good chance to get this done. So if we move over there, we can always, in a sense, we need to make sure we're getting on both sides. We could also narrow this, which should kind of relate to the same amount of power. Because the flow will be faster. I'm a bit worried about it overflowing. But it might actually be okay. A way to prevent this though. That might be a way to go. If we remove this one, we can always build 1 level higher in terms of levees, preventing the bad water kind of from getting in there. And let's keep building this up. And if we then place this in here, we should be able to channel it through without having to worry about our main colony. So yeah, I think that kind of makes sense. At least in my head, that makes sense. All right. Should probably high prioritize you over getting that windmill in back there, because we are still getting some power through that water wheel. Not a lot, but it will kind of do. And we should build a little bit of explosive storage in the back here. Or maybe even a little bit further down. No, actually, right here kind of makes sense. So let's go ahead and place down a medium warehouse. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And set you up to store the explosives. Highest priority on this. I feel like I'm turning into the real civil engineer, by prioritizing everything. But yeah, it's kind of how this game is so fun. Like, I need this right now, and you kind of need everything right now, so yeah. Right. They are doing a pretty good job at getting all of this done, though. So pretty happy about that. Doing just okay in terms of logs. But they have now made a bit of space for the lumberjacks over here. So let's go ahead and high prioritize, as usual, building both of those. And then we will remove the other two, which will give us, in the long term, enough space here to place a deep underground storage. And science, kind of getting there. But yeah, I think that will be quite nice. All right. Actually, for the bad water, what's it called? It's not an irrigation, not impermeable floor, contamination barrier. If we are removing those two, we could place them down here and over there. Oh, wow. I completely ignored that this actually gets contaminated. How much is the... that's 400 science. Costs only one metal block. We have 115. I mean, for this right now, it's not worth it. But let's go ahead and place these two down. I think that will be quite good. Yeah, and then we can remove this water wheel and connect this one into there. Build this one level higher. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. I hope so. All right. At least we'll see if it will overflow. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. So let's remove you. Let's make sure we're placing levees across here. Now I could actually just build this up even one level further. Don't think we need to right now, though. So let's keep it going like that. And then, let's see. How are we connecting this in? What is the best way? I mean, we could immediately go one up and then connect it over there. For now, we're fine. One thing that I do need to do, though, is make sure there is a path going along here so they can actually get to all of it. I don't quite know if this will be high enough to put a ton more of these water wheels in. So let's give that a try. One. No, you're too far. There. And I don't know why I make my life so hard. So let's go down a bit. Yeah, easy peasy. Oh, it gives you an estimate of how much power you produce. That's kind of cool. Yeah, don't need that one for now. Once all these levies are in, I will double check the estimate because I really want to know. Right, there we go. Oh. If I don't connect this up, we're kind of losing a good amount of power. But it looks like it will overall be okay. So we can actually keep building this up. All right, to connect this in, removing those two paths. And then we're just gonna go one high and connect this over with a platform. There we go. Highest priority, as per usual. Let's have a look. We're actually producing extract. I'm saying we're producing extract. We're not producing any. Why not? I guess it's nighttime. Where's our extract going? Unless they just happened to finish it at the moment that I looked at it. Huh. All right. Connection is almost in. Oh, look, they've also built the next water wheel already. Yeah, I guess we do have... I guess we don't have a ton of logs. Because I was just thinking we could already connect the next one in. But yeah, can't quite do that. Anyways, let's have them finish the levee system there. But actually go back underground and higher prioritize the levees over the water wheels. Because once that is in, we can connect them from the back forward. Bit of a pain to do, but I think it'll be fine. Look at that, actually. All of this, because of the levees here, is completely non-contaminated. That is pretty awesome. So let's go ahead now then and remove all of the berries. And in order to get more space out of this, I think we're gonna move all of our food production buildings kind of up here. I mean, this builder hut can definitely go up there. It doesn't really serve much of a purpose at the moment. Well, it does serve a purpose, but, you know, it doesn't need to be down there. So let's go ahead and delete you. And then put our builder hut in there. All right. And then, like I said, all of the grills, I can actually now remove that large pile here. How far ahead are you? 44%. I do not care enough about you to keep you in there, so let's remove it. Highest priority, per usual. And then we're going to unlock the large underground pile. Also just saw that there needs to be more oaks over there. Ah, come on. You started it. You could have finished it. Otherwise, still doing okay. Enough food, enough water. Only 4 more days of this. And look how much water there still is in the back there. I wonder if they made it easier in terms of water consumption. All right, 1,000 signs for the underground pile. Yes, please. All towards logs. Does need 20 logs. I guess so. And one thing that we could do, I actually don't know why you're still planting pines there, is to remove one of the pines. Let's say this one. Highest priority, and then we're gonna just put in another builder. 17 open positions? Ah. Yes. We can now remove you down here. Still 13 is quite a lot, no? Huh. I guess a bunch of them just died of old age. Yeah, looks like it. We are still apparently back on 16 on average. We wanted to go to 17. Now that we do have actually a ton of science, shouldn't be too hard to do. Let's go ahead and beaver statue. Yeah, I guess why not? This beaver statue, does that actually give him anything? Oh, the bulletin board would actually be a good spot here, because everyone passes by there. All right, let's do the bulletin board. All right. Other things that we could think about are, of course, the scarecrows. I could just increase the happiness overall a little bit more. 200 science. We place one here and one there. I mean, it's not the point of a scarecrow to just look pretty, but I think it'll cover a good amount of the path that everyone is taking, which overall will also be quite nice. Beaver oh, the beaver statue gives at least 2. You're right. You're absolutely right. 500 science. I think there's a delay in me saying stuff and you guys actually seeing it. Where could we place it? I guess we could place it here. How big is a... And don't want to put a hedge in front. Rob is kind of tall. Where would be a nice place? One thing that I can actually already do. We don't need this path back here. So make a bit more space there. And then we can put beaver statues on both sides. Science is coming in now relatively smoothly, so that is pretty good. Oh look, we're actually pretty much maxing out the amount of power here. So let's add one more windmill, just to be on the safe side. And we're almost there with the science for the beaver statue. I'm gonna face it like... Right. Before I'm placing it, I'm trying to slow down to, you know, get a bit of more input. Shall we place it like this? Or facing towards where everyone is coming in the morning? So, facing that little path right there? Or facing like that? Let me know. Happiness has already increased by 1. So that is good. The bulletin board gives 1.5. That doesn't sound right. Probably gives 2 as well. But I guess not everyone has gotten the benefit from it yet. Still going to increase the priority of the scarecrows, because it will be nice to have a little bit of buffer. In the meantime, we can also place another woodcutter. There we go. Also on the highest priority, and then we can start cutting all of this down. But yeah, I think otherwise doing pretty okay. Guess we don't need this part. Oh wow. Beavers have actually gotten pretty far down there. Oh, unstable core? 11 days. That's a first. Wait. Oh, it's you guys. Right. Good. It's just the bad water outlet, so I don't think we need to worry about this. Making sure, yep, it's only those two. So that should be all right. I completely forgot about the treated planks again. So, yeah. Still haven't spent the science. Don't know how to pronounce your nickname. Is it Smile2's1? Could unlock the beaver statue. Or go straight into the treated planks. I do wonder how long the delay is. Anyways. I do think we can remove this water pump. That should be safe now. Because we can always place it up here if we need it. We also don't need this part here anymore. Look. Ah. Will this cause... No, we're in a regular season. Oh, look at that. Regular water flowing in here. Slowly, but steadily. Which hopefully will raise the level here. I guess we don't need to worry about. There will always be another drought or bad water season, so this won't overflow. Does make me a bit nervous though. So why don't I actually fix it? Because this has me now very comfortable saying it won't cause any issues. But we can actually remove this one here. Yeah, good, it's not overflowing. Double floodgate in. Ah, made the mistake of not waiting long enough. There we go, move this over. Little trick, but it will be okay. I'm gonna make sure we're high prioritizing that and that it flows out if it's at 0.9. All right. Doing okay, I think. Maybe I do want to put in another campfire somewhere here. Also just like to see this cleaned up in terms of bad water. If we place the contamination barrier here and here, will that be enough? Maybe actually here will be already enough. At some point I need to explore this a bit more. Wait, where did all the... Oh, because it's in here now. Got it. All right. I guess treated planks it is. We almost have enough science for both. And at least the treated planks will now get us to building the curved staircases. I do wonder how much more we actually need. Oh, they're already at 20, 27. Ooh. To get to 60%. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get to that today. But sooner or later, I think we will. When we really need to expand to, though, is the metal, which is down here. All right, let's plan backwards. If we're putting stairs in like this, I think we have an okay time to go from here with zipline stations over this way, and then ultimately make our way back there. Could actually start to unlock zipline stations. Let's have a quick look. What do zipline stations require in terms of material? I guess that's okay. So, zipline station. Does it then really make sense to place it all the way up here and not down there? And I do want to seal this off just to be safe, because I might have overlooked one of the explosives. So we could actually place you here. And by that, I just unlocked it. Yeah, I wanted to see first. All right. So we can then place a pylon here. Not enough science to unlock, but if we place a pylon here, they can actually reach it from the top. And then we could place the next one there, and so on and so forth, until we actually end up on this side. Could have also used that for bad water pumping instead of up there. Oh well. I do think that entrance is starting to look pretty nice, though. All right, you're happily producing. That is good. 16 unemployed beavers. So 8 in here and another 8 there. I guess that also makes sense. The planks can start going in here. And we do need a storage solution for our extract. So let's do that first. Put it just across. Make it easy for them. Extract, here we go. Highest priority. Could have done that quite a while ago. We actually don't need 2 beavers in there. 1 will be enough. I guess at the moment, if it overflows too much, it will just all go out this way. This is fine. There's a lot of like water paths that could be utilized. And the one thing that I'm wondering is if I'm doing something a bit weird and not making good use of all of it. Huh. Maybe in the long run we will actually seal this off. Sorry, getting sidetracked. Because if we do seal this off, we could seal this part here off, and we should get even more water flow in this direction. Which I think would ultimately be quite useful. Let's make sure that we expand the path just so they can reach everything. Is it in? Is it in? Can't see it. Yep. The spiral staircase is in. Love that idea. I think this will make building upward so much easier. And that tells me that is also something we should probably start looking at right there. So if we were to place another housing area right next to it, there would be 3 wide, which would kind of line it up here. I guess we don't need to worry about it too much, to be honest. So let's go ahead and try to plan this differently. So if we want to have a spiral staircase, we will need to have the first one, I'm gonna say, start in the back here. Oh, flip. All right, put in a path there. Come on, there we go. All right, double platform here. And then we build another spiral staircase on top. Now this would be a triple platform. Sure, let's unlock it for now. Another one there. Triple one right next to it. Look how much easier it is to get up. All right, triple one here, single one there. And with this small amount of space, we have actually made it to that higher level. I like it. I think that's pretty cool. Might be a bit biased. All right, let's go ahead and high prioritize this. And then I do want to briefly, at least. Now we do have actually a lot of logs, so let's place a levee down. And we're briefly gonna head up there. All right. Connect it all up with paths. And the next thing we're going to unlock, we don't have the science yet, triple dynamite, 1,200. And we're gonna empty out this entire area up here. Because I do think this will look very nice for the other well-being things, like the dance hall. The carousel up here could be great. And if we're blocking this off, we could even get a little bit more power over here. Or you can also just connect it up. Yes, it's going to be okay. But I am glad they are starting to build all of this back here. Because we do have a good amount of water now stored in there. This little channel helped a ton of filling this up. So I'm very happy about that. Good. We're also getting a good amount of extract in. Very nice. Food's still doing okay. Water's still doing okay. I mean, it is a bit nerve-wracking that we're down to like 150 because we don't have more storage. Could build more. Is it needed? I don't know about that. And we could also... Yeah, that's not... it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I guess once we have all of this connected up, we can build this over here and then lock it off there without having to destroy anything. So that won't be too bad. Right, still need to get to a new metal source. And it will take a while for us to actually get to that point where we can reach this area right there. So let's find the closest metal source instead. I do think it might be this one. Can we get down here easily? Sorry, I'm trying to not move too much, but it is so intrinsic of just moving the camera around until you see everything you need to see. Go in here. Doesn't really matter which one we're building, so let's just go for levee. And then add the staircases in there. And we'll actually be able to path around this. There we go. Once we're there, we can put in our scavenger flag. Yep, there we go. Right there. All right. Don't think this will overall change the flow of stuff back there. Yeah, should be okay. 0.2 days though until the explosion. I don't think I've watched one yet. So let me just pause there. All right, a bit less impressive than I expected. But overall, still pretty cool. Yeah, didn't really change the flow that much. It's just not overflowing on this area anymore, which I guess is good. All right, spiral staircase coming in. Oh, it's not on high priority. There we go. I really like this. And it will be a bit more tricky if you need to get off at any given level, but otherwise, it will make stuff so much easier. You guys are happily building back there. That is good. We're all out of stuff to cut down. Why aren't you? That explains it. All right. We do need a bigger area for our forestry stuff. So maybe it is actually time to unlock tunnels. We do have all the material. We don't have the science yet. But we could relatively quickly create a tunnel through here into our water reservoir and have a little pool-ish area over there. I mean, also wonder... Yeah, we can't really redirect this stuff. Yeah, I do think this is our best way of getting a bit more extra land in. You kind of plant this. You're taking your sweet time to evaporate. Not complaining, not complaining. Right. So now let's also remove you. Okay. Look at that spiral staircase. Very, very awesome. Otherwise, everyone having a good day? I am. Okay, so this is now... What if I actually just lower this? Yeah, it's what? back. But look at that. With this, all of that area again becomes available. The question still remains, where would be a good place for the grills? I guess if we have haulers, we don't really need to worry. Oop. Quick freeze. Let's clean this up. I think it would be nice to just have this all cleaned out. And where could be a nice spot is actually we could also just utilize that. All right, up here it is. Decided now. Have I really though? You know what? Up there is actually a good spot. Because we're not going to utilize this corner here really for any of the aquatic farmland. So if we're adding 3 of these areas right there, actually add a 4th. Because then once this disappears, we can properly utilize another set of the platforms to put another grill there or something else. All right, we do have plenty of planks, so let's high prioritize all of this to just get it done. And then we're placing our grills right on top. They're close to the wood source. They are close-ish to the farmers. Not quite the aquatic farmers, but I think that's okay. But they are also close-ish to the chestnuts. So I think overall that'll be good. Set you to do the potatoes. You can do the spatter dog, and you can do the chestnuts. All right. Everything again on highest priority, so they get stuff done. And I will actually destroy all of you already. There we go. And in addition, because we do have some dynamite and a single level unlocked, I'll make a bit more space over there. All right. Looking much better. Don't know why we still have that paper warehouse here, so you go. The herbalist we haven't used at all lately. Could do it at some point. All right, but look at that, we made it all the way to the top. So let's see, we do have still 104 dynamite and 90 extract. We can place 45 of these. This needs to be a single one. All of these need to be triple. Yep, 1,200 science. Happily oblige. I think till here is plenty. I'm placing the double dynamite there. Not enough science. That tracks. Right. Let's see if we can't at least get this stuff done. Not sure if the double is really worth it to unlock at the moment. 900 science. We could just place single dynamite here twice. That would do the trick as well. Alright, this way they will actually be able to reach all of this. Good, all of this is in as well. Which means we're getting closer and closer to freeing this area up for additional food production. We can actually remove you here as well. Does it make sense though? That is a different story. At some point, we do need the mills first. We're also having a ton of cattail that we're not using at all. And the mills need to be connected to power, and they're free deep. So one thing that we could actually do, if we remove you and remove you, we can go ahead, place a little bit of platforming here, add levees right there. We could actually destroy you, because you're still sealed off, and if we then add... are you not planting any milkweeds? Sorry, I have no idea how to pronounce that. Last. I'm using the Polish version. Just to be sure you are able to make... oh, you're talking about the dandelions. Very cool you're calling this milkweed. I fully understand why. No, at the moment not. We had a period of time where we needed it, because there was a bit of bad water kind of flowing down there. But this is also why we have the herbalist. But we haven't had to deal with any contamination in forever. And I think we're completely fine. I don't see the contamination coming back. So currently, no dandelions to be found in our city. But yeah, like I said, for a brief period of time, I think it was back here or somewhere back there, there was some. I wish they would make a bit more use of this for the folktales. For example, you know how the Iron Thief actually have coffee? Dandelion tea. I swear that would be such a hit. Or actually just dandelion coffee. Because that exists as well, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, that's now I digress. All right, finally finished this entire area. Well, no, not quite. There's still one oak tree here that is growing. But very soon we can move this over a little bit more, which I'm hoping will sort of streamline this area a bit. Are you just playing the Polish version, or are you actually in Poland? Isn't it like 2 a.m. there? No judgment. All right. All of this stuff is coming in. So that's pretty good. Could not quite explode part of it, because then they can't get up there anymore. But very soon we have another area up there to build more stuff, which I think pretty good. I also wish they had gates. But yeah, no gate. Bummer. All right, we can actually remove you already. And actually we can remove you as well. Then let's place our vertical power shaft there. Not gonna go too crazy about this, because we still need to pick up all the logs that are here. I'm Polish, but living in the UK. That's my English is not bad, but not perfect. Your English is it's good. Yeah. How long have you lived in the UK, if you don't mind sharing? This would be actually the perfect time to... what is... nothing to do in range. That is an issue. So, need to quickly reprioritize. Building these down here so we get more of the metal in. All right, I'm almost done up here. It's so tempting to try to explode this already. And I had my fair share of beavers die, unfortunately, in explosions. Oh wow, 16 years in the UK. Crazy. I lived in the UK myself for 4 years-ish. Had its benefits. Yeah, I do miss the British pubs though. They are really nice. Especially like when it gets cold outside, like real fireplaces. Love it. All right. I do realize I will actually have to go soon, but I want to make sure we're at least, you know, making enough space up there. Okay, all of that also coming in already. 2 more staircases this way. We do have all the materials, so nothing to worry about there. Also still have some scrap metal and metal blocks. But yeah, doing all right. And doing okay with food. I guess water, they'll recover. We should have enough water for about 45 beavers, but because of the happiness level, it actually can handle a bit more. Also go ahead and already place our forester down here. Oh, all the explosives are in. So let's go ahead. Exploding stuff in Timberborn is still fun. Right, remove the staircase. And I will actually unlock the 2-level explosives here as well. We can go ahead and high prioritize these. So again, we just get a bit more space for, you know, beaver funland up here. All right. Are they? Nope. It's nighttime. Let's actually look at the water supply back here. Not bad, actually. There's a 16-day that tide. We are still cutting it a bit short. But yeah, I don't know if there's a better way of getting a lot more water. And I guess if we're blowing this further down, this water source can contribute a bit more. And I think that water source is actually the key to surviving this map on hard mode. But that's just speculation at the moment. By the way, I have 727.4 hours in this game. Wow. A few maps done. You'll be watching me. Thank you. Even if I don't speak too much, that's also okay. I'll tell you here in chat when I will be off watching. Much appreciate that. Yeah. I think right now I'm at about 400 hours in this game. I feel like I started it a little bit late, but I've been having so much fun. It is a good game. I love this game. Very entertaining. But yeah, I do hope at some point they will actually provide a few more factions. But there might be a sort of expansion packs or whatever. Don't quite know. But I also fully understand why it was finally released. All right, with this being out, let me remove the staircases. We have created enough space up here for future expansion, and I might actually have to already head out myself and look for something to eat for dinner. But well, I think I was doing pretty well in this episode. More stuff to do in the next one, but you know, that's always the case. Regardless, yeah, like I said, I will actually end it here. So thank you for joining. Thank you for chatting with me. I do appreciate that a lot. It's always more fun to talk. And otherwise, I'm hoping to stream next week again. Maybe see you then. Videos are coming out during the week. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.